Today, we're gonna be getting rid of the old ugly stock brakes and we're gonna be opting in for some Akebono big brakes. But is it really worth spending the money on these huge brakes for just some stopping power? Well, let's talk about it. Going to be our base caliper on our G37. As you can see, it is a single piston design. That means that when you push your pedal down, there is one singular piston right here that's pushing against the brake pad that is grabbing onto the rotor to give you your brake power. Now, this is great for daily drivability, makes it a little softer and easier to brake, but in something like a sports car or a car that you're modifying, it's just not what you want. Here is our big Akebono brake. As you can see on the inside, this is a 4-piston setup. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 pistons. Not only is this better for more power in your braking, it also leads to better consistency with the pads themselves. When you have 4 different contact patches as opposed to one center one, it's going to keep everything a lot tighter and a lot more in line as opposed to one singular piston that's just pushing the center only. This is getting so much more contact patch, leading to a nice firm grip and an even grip on the rotor as well. Not to mention that the ease of replacing brake pads on the big brakes is a lot easier as well. You can replace the brake pads right from the top right here. All you have to do, push out a couple of pins and a bracket right here, boom, going in and out. Unfortunately, with the smaller brakes, you have to unbolt these big old things every time, and especially at the rear is super annoying. You gotta take all those bolts out to open it up, then you gotta compress the pistons and everything and do all that. No, with this one, it is a lot more complicated to do. I will say, it is cheaper to maintain though. You don't have to change the pads as often, and they are a little bit cheaper to replace because they're also smaller. The last reason, look at it. Boring, ugly, lame, beautiful, ginormous, pretty. Who wouldn't want this over the stock form? And to be honest, in my case, this is the main reason that we got them, is because they simply look better. No, I'm not tracking my car. Does it really make that much of a difference in day-to-day traffic? No, probably not. But it looks better, especially if you're gonna be heavily modifying your car. It's always a good thing to have better brakes. And obviously, with those bigger brakes, it does also lead us to be able to run a larger size rotor. These are the stock ones with the base, wider diameter, leading for more contact patch, which is exactly why you're able to brake harder. There is more surface to grab onto to stop the vehicle. But these big brakes get expensive. Is it really worth it to spend up to $400 for a used pair of these calipers? All right. So obviously I do already have the old caliper out, but I will say it is not a hard job at all. Obviously you have to take the wheel off. I did also just install some extended wheel studs. When it comes to this caliper, it's fairly simple. Once you take that wheel off, all you gotta do is take those 219s out there and it completely lets us down. Now what you do also have to do, I have the brake lines already on this. I got them from the junkyard, so it came with them, so I thought I might as well just use them, especially because they are also routed a little bit differently. You do want those brake lines that came on these pads. So there's just a couple studs here that poke out where there's these little like mounting points for the brake pad. I mean, just a couple 12mm bolts, they pop out, and then it's going to connect right in here. So this is just gonna be a 12mm, you can open it with a wrench. There is this little bracket thing here, you pop out, unscrew it all the way, boom, we got the new lines there. This is where we're gonna get that new one in there, and then we're gonna pop our new caliper in. It's really that simple, honestly. I will say, you do have to be careful. If you did not get the lines that came with these, you do need a different banjo bolt right here. It's gonna be this bolt at the back because it has fluid running through it. You do have to upgrade those if you do not have these same lines. I think you can get away with reusing the stock lines, if I'm not mistaken, but you at least do need a different banjo bolt. Otherwise than that, this is a really great upgrade for your G37 or 370Z because everything's already there. You know, you already have the hardware for it. There's no crazy rerouting you have to do. They'll bolt right up. Oh my God, these fuckers are heavy. Shit. This thing weighs probably a good like 30 pounds for these new ones. One thing to remember, these rotors are directional. You cannot just throw them on either side of the vehicle. They have to go a specific direction. So most of the time, it'll have a little serial number somewhere on the outside. This one had the L on it at the end, indicating left passenger side or driver's side. So make sure you look at that. And we're also just gonna hit them with some brake cleaner and a microfiber real quick, clean them off. Obviously they've still been in factory, so just wanna make sure they're as clean as possible. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing in there, and then we actually are going to take out that old brake line connection point. I don't want it dripping for too long because we are gonna have to bleed the brakes a little bit, make sure there's no air in after. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop that off after I get this one in. So we're gonna go ahead and bolt it on up. Fucker, goddamn, go through. My God. Jesus Christ, way too complicated. All right. Obviously, you still gotta get the brake pads in and all that, so I don't wanna mess with it too much, but Would you look at that? Oh my God, it looks so good. Obviously, these probably need to be repainted. They do look like shit, but look at how much better that looks. All right, so the rotor is on there. It is all good. I do also have the caliper all mounted up and everything, did all that. We also got the brake pads, and I did forget that I had to compress the pistons on this, so I had to do that for a while. That took a little bit. These should just slide right in, and then these are on, and we're good. Just gotta tighten a few bolts down on it. All right, everything on there is in. I got the pins and everything in there, so those pads will stay tight. Let's go ahead and do the rears. As you can see, I'm kind of working in progress here. This does have a lip to it that bends in, and you do kind of have to either cut this, whatever you find easier, or bend this back out of the way so the new rotor can fit, because they are going to be larger, obviously. So you want to bend this out of the way, try to get it as straight as possible. I don't really care if it looks like shit. I'm just trying to get them on today, but that's all you're gonna have to do there is bend that, and then otherwise than that, they're gonna bolt right up for you. All right, so we got the rears on, as we can see, looking nice and perfect. Got the bolts tightened, and yet again, they're tightened there as well. So I think we're looking all good. I have to go ahead and bleed the brakes, obviously. I'm probably gonna give these one more wipe down. And then, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and also do one more thing, which is actually pretty important when you get new brake pads and rotors, which is going to be bedding the pads. So don't forget to do that. I'm gonna be doing that in a little bit. It is a few days later. I did kind of do those things off camera because I was a little short on time. Bleeding them was a huge process. I did it wrong the first time. Pedal was super spongy, but they are bled. They are on. It was pretty simple. Sorry for skipping so much of that, but there they are in all their glory. We got the new rotors. We got it on there. It looks so much better. One of my favorite things about this set is that the rears also have a cool design to them. Not a lot of rears, even on newer cars today, have the cool like 2-piston setup and like a nice design on it. Like I've seen, I think like some Mercedes and even like BMWs and such where like they don't get this cool style in the back as well, like the kind of like cooler 2-piston look. Obviously, a huge part of these is gonna be the looks. Like I said, you know, that is the main reason that I did these. I wanted them to look cool. It's not like your braking power is just 100 times better. It might be a little bit, but it's mainly just handling a lot of more wear and tear on them. See how they feel, and yeah. I'll have to do some research on why it happened. My e-brake light is stuck on now. Don't mind the other ones, whatever, but like, it stays on. Don't know why, so that'll be fun. I've already got those other lights that I gotta figure out and fix, but a little weird. Don't understand that one. Let's drive it. All right, I will say, after getting a few brakes in before this, these things do grip. Like, they really grab, and I'm like getting thrown forward really easily. So they actually do a little bit more than I thought they do. Holy shit, yeah. I definitely wasn't getting a good stop like that in those old brakes. And obviously, these ones should be able to keep that braking up for a lot longer of a time than the old ones. So I would definitely call this install a success. For me, honestly, I got them from the junkyard. So I got them for about half price. I will say, after the rotors and everything, it probably ended up being about $500, which for a big brake upgrade is a fantastic deal. I think if you're ever considering getting brakes in general on most cars, it's probably not the best investment unless you're tracking it, unless there is a big brake kit that you can upgrade that came stock on the car. If you have something like, I don't know, a Honda Civic and you're looking to get a big brake kit like Brembo or something, it is so expensive. Fortunately for something like the G37 that came with these stock Akebono brakes on a sport model, it's something that's a lot more attainable and easier to get because it came on the car already. So for me, guys, I have to say it's definitely worth it. It's not that bad of a job to do yourself, honestly. It's a pretty simple install. You get to basically reuse all the stuff that you already had on the car. Who doesn't love a cosmetic mod that also helps performance? But I really appreciate y'all watching. I'm sorry for the lack of uploads. Those of you who watch regularly, I've been replacing the transmission in this thing, which went successfully. Thankfully, car's driving right now, so did that in my own garage, a little help from my dad and such. Really though, I really appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully some more videos, I can get a more consistent uploading schedule, but if y'all enjoyed, like, subscribe, all of that. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you. I love you. Bye.